Hey, strangers. Welcome to the Dangerously Strange Podcast, episode 4! What's up, y'all? I'm your host, Ben DeShong, and with me, as always, is Mr. George Lefty O.
Shout out to everybody with headphones on. Sorry for the loud noises right at the start, but you got to get used to that because we're loud and can make the microphone pop and all kinds of shit. I was just looking at the microphone instead of the camera.
Yeah. Well, we believe in a value-based production process. We don't necessarily go for highest tech quality because we want you guys to feel intimate and hear like you're in the room with us.
Welcome to my bedroom.
Yeah. New venue. We got to talk about the new venue.
It was way too fucking hot in Ben's garage, and
it's a studio. Yeah. First of all, it's a studio.
Oh, that's right. In the studio, they don't have heat or any kind of ventilation.
Yeah, it was temperature uncontrolled.
Yeah.
But whatever. We moved on. We're going to keep adapting and adjusting.
Yeah.
What's going on? We were just talking about our old days in Latin class. Me and George went to high school together.
Miss Nelson.
Yeah. It was a good time. We're talking about how through 2 years... Did you take both years?
Yeah, I took 2 years.
Through 2 years of Latin class, how we were able to cheat our way through.
Yeah.
I don't speak any Latin. I can still sing Happy Birthday.
Quid facet Cornelia.
Yeah. Felicissimus,
Felicissimus, Dies festus nati tui, Felicissimus.
Yeah, so...
How about 1 little, 2 little, 3 little Romans? Was that?
I'm tapped out, too. That's all I got.
There was a few songs we learned. Quid facet Cornelia was day 1.
Yeah. I'm being careful to pick out a reference because I took German in middle school and I feel like I was about to say some German stuff.
Don't talk about German.
We don't talk about German. Anyways.
I forgive you, Germany. It's fine.
I don't even have beef with you, man. You never were mean to me, personally.
Well, that's fine.
I mean, whatever. We never met. But yeah, we did a lot of...
I still don't forgive America, to be honest. That's a different story.
The breakdown in our Latin class was basically there was like 6 tables with like 4 to 6 people at each table. And I think it was roughly, on average, 1 person per table that actually knew the material that we were talking about. And then we all just kind of coupled up with them and cheated off their stuff.
Right.
But what I was just about to say before we clicked on the camera was that I think it got to the point to where we weren't even having to cheat off of anybody.
Well, I didn't do a lot of cheating in the class, but then what I was talking about was at the end of Latin, there's the national Latin exam. I
don't recall that at all, even.
Okay, so
I remember the build-up, and there was like going to be a trip and stuff, but I don't
know if there... I mean, we took it in the library.
Okay. I started drinking in high school, so...
Yeah. No, I mean, I started talking to Jesus in high school, so that's...
How's that going?
That's another episode. I don't talk to Jesus much anymore, but unless I stub a toe.
I talk to him sometimes, being Becky. Let's leave it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I remember is it eventually evolved into she would just read off the answers and not care if we wrote them down in that moment.
Yeah, and like, in high school, there was always like grading some, you grade the other person's test and we'd just figure out what weird pattern that teacher would do and sit in the right places so that we would all grade. Like, I was always grading, making sure my friends and I were grading each other's tests.
Yeah.
So we could just answer.
I mean, I didn't learn Latin, but I learned how to assess and circumvent a system.
Right.
So that's valuable.
I took a lot away from Latin in the English aspect of like, I'm really good at just knowing what words mean that I don't know. Like if I don't know a word, if it's a Latin-based word, I can basically figure it out. Like,
so it's like most of them.
Yeah, like a lot of them in English. That's what I'm saying. Like there's a lot of words that I go, I've never heard that word before, but I know it has to do with legs and something being the wrong way. Or, you know what I mean? Like,
you learned a lot more from it than I did.
Yeah, I mean, I was always a word nerd. Like, Why
did you take Latin in the first place?
Because it seemed like an easy A.
Sure.
And it was one of the only classes that I did well in consistently in high school was Latin and history.
I don't even remember where I fell at. I think I did good because of the projects, because we'd make like videos and stuff, but I took Latin because I was a big Indiana Jones fan, and that came into play.
Okay, so you were thinking about maybe being an archaeologist.
Nope.
Like an adventure archaeologist.
Nope. I just made the connection. That was the same reason I took German in middle school, actually. All my language-based decisions as far as education were concerned came from Harrison Ford saving the world in the 40s.
Okay.
Yeah, because he dealt with Nazis a lot, and then old Latin texts and such.
Yeah. You got to be able to read a lot of different European languages if you want to do Indiana Jones type shit.
Yeah, wasn't really interested in archaeology. I just thought maybe someday I'd be able to monetize carrying a whip. Which I really fell off that path, but I might need to rethink it because I'm still interested.
I mean, it's not that hard to learn how to use a bullwhip.
My dad has a bullwhip. We've always had one around when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I only clipped myself maybe 3 times in that whole experience.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's an official technique, but the way my dad taught me was like to drop it on the ground and make it an S first, and then in your wind up you get like a nice loop, a nice wide loop, and it should crack out in front. You should be able to aim it relatively easy at that point.
And then like grab a gun out of somebody's hand.
Yeah, I don't know if I was ever able to grab anything, but I was able to agitate grass. And yeah, I guess I wrapped some trees and stuff.
Right.
And
ripped them right out of the ground.
Yeah, fully with just the power of my bicep.
Right.
Because I was
just like
superhero in the making.
Oh, never mind.
Besides Indiana Jones, did anybody else use a whip? Is there a weapon of choice?
Oh, I don't know about a whip, but
Catwoman, she had a whip, right?
In the trailer for the new Fast and the Furious movie.
Which one are they on now?
1 million. It's like 9.
They have to be, approaching double digits, I think.
Yeah. The Rock, there's a scene in the trailer, so this is not a spoiler, unless you're averse to even trailer spoilers, where they're driving along, and The Rock is on top of the car.
Okay.
And
it's gotta be a sturdy car, starting there.
Right off the bat, it's got to be a sturdy car, so that comes into play here. There's a helicopter flying overhead, and The Rock is on top of a car, or a truck maybe, holding on to the...
As The Rock would do.
Right, with one hand, he's holding on to the car, and with the other hand, he's got a chain connected to the leg of the helicopter.
Gotcha. So is he pulling the helicopter?
Which he pulls down out of the sky.
Well, that's why you do chin-ups, bud.
With his... just the strength of his connective tissues.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Like...
The Rock is like 6'6", 800 pounds of solid muscle. So, I mean, what kind of helicopter are we talking? Was the helicopter operator heavyset? Comes into play.
Fair enough. Fair enough. How many people are on the helicopter? How much fuel is in the helicopter?
Right.
But what I'm saying is, it's astonishing to me that they're trying to make me believe that any human has the tensile strength to not be drawn in half by over a ton of metal on the ground and whatever the force of that helicopter is, that's literally lifting tons of metal off the ground already.
Okay, so putting all of the fact aside that it is a movie and it is in the Fast and the Furious franchise, yada, yada, yada. If there was...
There has never been such an atrocious abuse of reality in the Fast and the Furious films.
But
never.
Just to bridge the gap of imagination a little bit, if there was one person, like if you had to put money, like there's a gun to your head and somebody was like, you have to pick the one person
who could potentially pull a helicopter out of the sky.
Who would you pick? I mean...
Absolutely The Rock. 100, no question, there's not another living person on Earth who I would even say... I mean, there's no one. But if they said to me, there's for sure someone alive today who could do that,
Yeah.
We've done the numbers again and again, and it's 100% for sure there's someone who can pull an Apache helicopter out of the sky with just the strength of his bicep. It would be The Rock.
I second that.
For sure. Dwayne Johnson
Also,
for life.
If you know anything about The Rock, I don't know if you've ever peeped out his Instagram or anything. But
he actually bench lifts helicopters?
Well, no, maybe.
Oh, that was
not on his Instagram.
Burp. I'm sorry.
It tastes good.
Ugh.
But he's like a super positive.
Oh, yeah. No, he's super uplifting.
Really
yeah, actually, for a
motivating
while,
guy.
I had Instagram notifications turned on for him so that when he went live, I would pop in. Because he goes live and he's just like, y'all are the best. This is going to be a rad-ass day.
Anything I can do to help you,
right?
Strangers,
Yeah.
I got you. But no, that might come into play too. Maybe.
In
the
fact,
helicopter pilot just didn't want to let The Rock down. Because you want to preserve a guy like that. I mean, there's all kinds of factors that can come into play. I mean, it can't just be brute strength.
I mean,
I agree with you there.
The guy could have been like, oh, resistance, and just lowered the helicopter. And then The Rock is still pulling on it, so it like shook it and crashed him.
And also, his muscles are fueled by the best chemical enhancement that money can buy.
For sure.
You don't have to drug test to be a movie star.
Right.
So, I'm pretty sure The Rock
or a professional wrestler.
Or a Fast and the Furious guy.
Right.
What do they do now, even?
Fast and the Furious?
What's going on with them?
They get in a lot of car chases involving larger vehicles than they should be doing that with. It seems like that's a lot of their thing. Like, you know, in the last big one, there was like...
Is Vin Diesel still in the mix?
Yeah, it's Vin Diesel and The Rock now.
Okay.
Looks like the haters of this one. This one, the big scene in this one is like an Endgame style scene.
I don't know what you mean by that.
You haven't seen Endgame? You don't watch the Avengers?
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Like in the first half, where they have that like brawl.
Yeah.
But it's The Rock had to go home to Samoa Town. And like it's like a junkyard somewhere, but his whole family is there, right?
Are they all?
They're all big beefy Islander guys, right? And they open this. They're like defending against whoever these people are coming to get them because they stole too many cars for the government or something.
That are housed at their Samoan junkyard.
And they go. The Rock and Vin Diesel and the crew go to. Go to Samoa Town. I don't know if they're escaping. I don't know if they were trying to come to Samoa Town and get his family in the first place or what. But they got to go to Samoa Town. That's so racist. Is he Tongan? Anyway, Islanderville. And he gets there and it's like, yeah, this is my family. And it's like all of the other... The main guy standing in front of you are all the other...
right there? Cause that...
Oh, no, it was The Rock.
Okay.
I was just... It was just rough guy voice. It wasn't dedicated. He goes, yeah, this is my family. And it's all the other, like, guys that are related to him that are in the WWE.
All right.
And then they're like, all right, let's
get really? Or...
Yeah, no, they really.
Oh, okay, so... All right.
And they go, all right, let's go get the guns. And he goes and it pans him and he's opening the gun cupboard and it's all, there's like the outlines of where the guns are supposed to be hanging and it's all like spears and shit.
Okay.
And like clubs and shit.
Because that's...
and grandma's like, we get rid of all those guns. Guns are bad or something. And then they're like...
Thanks, Grandma.
Yeah, and they're like...
Now we have to fight the terrorists with these... Barney Rubble baseball bats.
The Rock is just like... For sure, and starts handing out spears to everybody. And then the next scene is they're like going head on with like dudes coming with like tanks, like basically tanked out fucking.
And they're like hitting the tips of their missiles with spears and stuff.
Yeah, like I don't know, but it's a showdown.
Is the Fast and the Furious franchise still based around like street stuff? Time out, guys.
Yep, ad break.
There's a doorbell. George just stepped out to help his mom carry some groceries in or something. So it's just me right now. I just want to apologize for George's relatively racist interpretation of Dwayne Johnson's Island roots. We here at Dangerously Strange, we support all races and creeds, and we love you all. I'm gonna cut it off before he comes back, but don't report us to anybody or hit us up on Twitter with negative things. We love you. We love you, The Rock. Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back. Done. I'm not going to talk about The Rock anymore. Y'all can go see the trailer.
That was an independent decision. I had no influence on it.
I think we already... I mean, I don't want it to be like an established segment of the show that I just talk about trailers, like explain an entire movie to the audience.
No need to dwell. Just Google it or whatever.
Yeah, just Google it.
It's fine. What else? What are we talking about?
Well...
What is this?
This is cotton candy balls.
Blue cotton candy balls.
Blue cotton candy balls.
Which you've ravenously
hers
dipped into. I'm assuming it was full.
It wasn't just me. I've shared it with a couple of people.
Okay.
You probably recognize this tub and ball shape from Cheese Balls. This is
$2 for a gallon of cotton candy balls?
It was $2, so that's already I think that's a good sign about what to expect.
We're working with.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
They came from Big Lots, which is also a good sign of what to expect from these. But then also, even at Big Lots, $2 for
Shout
a big
out to
old
Big
thing
Lots.
like
They're basically what my kitchen is made out of.
Right, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So
good place for garden hoses too.
I'm
Side note.
gonna have Ben try a couple of cotton candy crunchy balls.
Okay, I'm gonna try one.
Oh, get a cut. You need a few. You got to get the taste for it.
Okay, I got 3. Okay.
These are hers crunchy and sweet cotton candy balls, artificially flavored.
My first, I would say, Crunchberry-esque.
Okay, yeah. They're made of corn.
A little lighter than that. Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah, better than wheat though.
I guess.
At least they're not wheat balls. But
I could probably eat that. The rest of that.
Right? And you wouldn't feel that bad about it because it's 160 calories per serving.
What's a serving?
35 balls. It's a lot. Like, it's a whole bowl of cereal.
Side note, let's clip out 35 balls for multiple uses. But no, yeah, that's freaking not bad.
Yeah.
I need so lunch.
Yeah, well, don't do that.
Well, I'm going to do it.
But, I mean, at least you had something healthy in the Public Goods Lemon Sesame Bar. Brought to you by Public Goods, a.k.a. my subscription to Public Goods, and I paid for this.
Give me this. So. Take a look at the ingredients on cotton candy balls.
I mean, it's a lot of artificial blue, but the main ingredient is corn.
Cornmeal.
I know people love unwrapping.
Vegetable oil. Cottonseed? What's cottonseed? Palm, soybean, sunflower. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Cottonseed is kind of weird.
I thought it was going to be like, psilocybin, psilocybin.
These taste super healthy, though.
Or something. Yeah, those taste healthy. I feel cleaner having eaten it, but then I immediately chased it with I'm going to say I'll probably hit the serving size of 35 cotton candy balls on that about.
Describe the flavor, though, because they're like, if you eat one, even if you ate 3, there's like a hint of cotton candy flavor. It's like a cotton candy vape worth of flavor. Like, it's not.
I don't know.
It almost tastes more like corn than cotton candy.
I'm inclined to put it in a bowl and add milk. It seems like it'd be a delicious breakfast cereal.
It would be, if it wasn't so big, it would be a good breakfast cereal.
Yeah, I like it. Has a lot of room to soak up milk. Yeah, I would say cotton candy immediately chased by like that Captain Crunch type of aftertaste. I don't even know how to describe that.
Corn?
Yeah.
So can we describe as corn flavor?
Yeah, cornmeal flavored. It's gluten free too? What?
Because it's made of corn, not wheat.
Alright, okay.
Yeah.
I just found
crunchy corn snacks.
What that meant. Total sugars 4 grams includes 4 grams added sugars. And a gram of protein. Oh shit, this is like post-gym meal right here. If I eat the whole thing.
There's protein in there?
Yeah, 1 gram. I could put on some serious mass.
1 gram of protein and only 35 balls?
Yeah.
Good job, Hers.
And potassium. There's 20 milligrams of potassium.
You know what? Thank you, Hers, for making a healthy, low-calorie snack for just $2 from Big Lots because nobody wants to eat that.
Forever good. Freshness guaranteed. Oh my God, their game is next level.
Forever good?
Forever good. Hers forever good.
Oh, I get it. That's like their tagline.
Yeah.
Because you said forever good, freshness guaranteed. And so I thought it was like I could put this in the bunker and eat them in like 30 years.
Well, I mean, I don't imagine there's a high level of spoilage in something like this.
Yeah, I would imagine.
You want some?
No, I'm good.
No.
I ate like 100 of those balls yesterday.
Also clip that out for later use. Make a note.
Yeah. Travis, go ahead and clip that for Instagram.
Who's Travis?
I just assume that the guy who's going to be doing our editing down the line is going to be named Travis.
You just really narrowed down the hiring pool, but any Travises out there that got a background in social media and video editing, go ahead and apply at dangerously.strange@gmail.com.
Even if you just have like a pretty strong interest in that, you could, and your name's Travis, because I mean,
you don't have to be named Travis, but we will call you Travis. We've made that commitment. I feel like
I think that's the title of the position now.
Yeah, the
right?
Travis.
Yeah, go get the Travis.
Perfect.
Yeah, if your name's Travis, all the better, because it'll be less confusing for you.
It will get you to the top of the stack of resumes.
Yeah.
Which we haven't gotten any of yet. So, Travis, we appreciate punctuality. Why don't you get on it?
Right. Don't let us down, Travis.
Moving forward, what do you want to talk about? The Rock?
I don't want to talk about The Rock anymore. They can Google The Rock. We covered Hers Crunchy and Sweet Cotton Candy Balls, which is not a sponsor yet. Hers, hit us up in the comments.
Well, I bet you The Rock doesn't eat that.
For sure The Rock doesn't eat that. He might eat this seed thing.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't know. Even
that
is like a carb, I feel like.
Because the agave.
Yeah, well, maybe.
At least it's agave.
The guy's like 900 pounds. He's got to eat a carb here and there.
Yeah, I imagine.
Yeah.
He's got to. I mean, the carbs are important. You have to eat. You have to eat them.
I think that like
they say you don't have to eat them.
I think
right?
if you use steroids, like you metabolize carbs at a different
for sure
rate.
Definitely
Anyways.
that. But you were talking to me, I think off camera or maybe in a secret unreleased episode about people going on diets with they don't eat anything but meat, like not even vegetables, right?
Yeah,
and it changed their life.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot of sample data on it or anything. I don't think anybody does at this point. I think that's why it's such a controversial thing. Is like, there's no like.
Sounds like hocus. Sounds like shenanigans to me.
Yeah, but
like
I mean,
you got to eat a vegetable.
But I mean, it is low carb. You're high protein, and like red meat has a ton of nutrients in it. Like that's no secret. But obviously, then you're talking about like cholesterol and all this other shit. But I imagine. Like probably helps with testosterone and other. I'm just assuming.
Sure.
I mean, like lions. You know, they eat nothing but red meat and they look pretty ripped.
They got big old balls.
Big old balls. 35 big old balls. No. Yeah, I think it's more or less like an elimination diet is what people are seeing. But I heard about people with autoimmune diseases having those clear up. Like one podcast that I can't even think of right now, but. Somebody had their gum disease go away, all kinds of stuff like that. And I think probably like the absence of sugar has a big part.
Yeah. Like I stopped drinking 9 sodas a day and now my teeth don't feel soft. Like, you know what I mean?
That's a thing.
That makes sense. Yeah. Like regardless of if also you stopped eating everything but meat, your teeth still will feel less soft.
Probably.
Right?
I mean, unless you're terrible at cooking steak and then you're carrying
even then it's gonna like sharp. If you got some soft on your teeth, it's gonna be if it's gotta be doing real work.
I wonder how much it matters if you're getting like hamburger or if you're getting like grass-fed free range cows that have been.
Yeah, you gotta buy a half a cow. I think if you're really gonna do that kind of thing, right? You need to go find a farm and buy a half a cow.
Right.
You gotta have a freezer in your garage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a poor man's diet.
Yeah, no, for sure not. I mean, meat is still the most expensive thing we can eat. Next to that fake meat that tastes like meat that's vegetables.
Except for pork. Pork is super cheap, but I always kind of avoid pork.
But it's still more expensive
Then what?
by weight than vegetables.
I mean, I guess, but vegetables are the worst.
Yeah, but like on the flip side of this, like people have been telling us to be vegetarians forever.
Well, I mean,
And there's a lot about the consumption of meat.
People every 6 months tell us that we should eat a certain way.
Right.
And I think we lose sight of...
There's a consistent set of the population that goes vegan or vegetarian.
Right.
And, some percentage of them do that successfully, I imagine. Like take the right vitamins and stuff
yeah, but
along
I mean,
with it.
I don't think it's at all about that. I think it's about, like, not eating cotton candy. It's, like, not processed.
Right. At the end of the day,
bullshit.
if you just... the real truth about diet is, like if eat less shitty stuff and exercise more, and you will be a healthier person.
That's 100% gotta be.
Any secret formula for that you want to implement, that's great.
Yeah, it's just like, what can you stick to?
Right.
Like, without falling off. That's been my problem, is I'll have really good, extended, long periods of time where I'm eating healthy, but it's like chicken and broccoli, and you can only do that for so long before you're like, please give me 8 pounds of macaroni and cheese. You know what I mean? Like, your brain just doesn't lose that attachment, I guess, or whatever. So you got like keto. I think the reason keto works for a lot of people is because it's like meaty, filling, delicious, fatty shit. But that doesn't sound healthy to me either. But again, no carbs, no sugar. You're going to drop a ton of weight. So it's like a step in the right direction.
I mean, anything that makes you feel better is a good diet, right?
Yeah.
I mean, assuming that it's not like because you're putting opium in your food or something, I mean, you'll probably still lose weight, but...
Well, yeah, but now you're bringing drugs into the equation. I mean, who's to say that our understanding of how drugs affect us is entirely, like, accurate?
I mean, I feel like opium... I'm saying, opium is not a good idea.
People are overdosing all the time, but I mean, like, fucking... pot and mushrooms and stuff. Like, it's hard for me to wrap my head around the fact that, like, people are against that over, like, alcohol.
Yeah, I get drunk every weekend.
But every time I drink, I love to drink.
Swipe left on Tinder if you smoke weed.
I love to drink, but I obviously feel terrible every time I do. Right. So it's like, I'm supposed to just accept that that's better for you than, like, something that you grew.
Right. That I grew... in my...
And hasn't been altered in any way. And
with water and sun.
But...
And then...
Because I
feel great tomorrow.
Because I have a regular job, I have to not. Which is silly.
Yeah.
It's legal in the state of California where we're at, and my job is still like, yeah, we'll definitely fire you.
Right.
But it doesn't matter if you just do it at home to, like, fall asleep. Like, we'll fire you. Yeah, which is terrible.
Yeah.
But, health insurance or whatever.
Right.
I've got holes in my shoes.
Need a new set.
I guess. That's when I get new shoes. Only when I get holes in them.
Yeah.
I have these.
We're going to have to get Nate on here, because I was talking to Nate. Nate's been that way most of his life.
Nate's a friend of ours. That goes way back to high school days and all that, by the way. He'll be on the show soon. You guys will get to know Nate. But anyways, continue.
And he's decided now that he's an adult, regular working member of society.
Right. I was talking to him about that Friday, actually.
Yeah. Instead of only buying new shoes when his main shoes are done,
right,
he's going to start buying the nice shoes that he's always wanted since when we were kids in high school. Like, he wanted to be a sneakerhead, and he couldn't for various reasons in his life. He couldn't, and he decided... that's going to be a hobby that he pursues, is having really cool sneakerhead shoes.
The point, hopefully, as an adult person, is when you have your own money that you can do things that you like to do with it.
Right. And he's been not doing a lot of that.
Well, yeah.
And he's trying to come around to finding something worthwhile to be putting some of his money and, thoughts into.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't even know what falls in that category for me. I don't like clothes.
I like Adidas, Yeah, but I'm not like...
I got these shoes because I had to choose offline because I wear size 14, and there was about 8 pairs I could choose from, and these ones looked fine.
Yeah.
And that's usually how I shop for shoes. Beyond that, I would have to be like a sneakerhead.
You wear 14s?
Yeah.
I'll keep it in mind. I get most of my Adidas as the ones that people didn't want that end up at like Marshall's.
Oh, word.
And a lot of times, the coolest ones, in my opinion, coolest.
Right.
Because they're, you know, I like them kind of wild.
Sassy. I would describe you as sassy.
Okay. But the 14 and 15 range has a lot of really cool, like, ones that people didn't necessarily jump at. Partly because, you know, or not partly because, God, edit this out, except don't, because we don't do that.
No.
It's a big old shoe.
15,
yeah, it's a big old shoe. They don't, you know, they made too many. And
it has been a terrible part of my life. Not terrible, okay, that's being dramatic. That's my privilege talking, but it's been an annoying part of my life. I can't
find cool shoes!
It's been a really annoying part of my life to have, like, big feet and be, like, a tall person and shop for clothes and shoes. Since puberty hit, basically, it's just like, well, I guess I'm subscribing to plain t-shirts and basketball shorts a lot of the time until I get lucky and hit a Marshalls or a Ross or something where they got, like, oh, sweet, they're rocking a 3XL tee.
Right?
Perfect.
Cool logo on it.
Finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's whatever. We all have to make those. I'm trying to get to the level of prosperity where I might be able to get my clothes tailored.
Yeah, have all your clothes be
nice.
bespoke.
Yeah. So I can see where Nate's head's at. Now being able to get his cool shit.
Yeah, like, you know, he's always been a snappy dresser of his style. Like, he wasn't wearing blazers, but, you know, he dressed really nice.
I guess.
For how...
I've only seen Nate over the last 10 years, like, at work.
Right.
So like a green t-shirt. I've only seen him in, like, that attire. But
yeah, but no, like, he always has his real, you know, super clean jeans and a really nice jersey or, like, a, you know...
Yeah, I can see him being that guy. Big sports fan and all that.
Yeah. Keep his face clean, usually.
So besides shoes, what's your money?
Shoes is not for me. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I got those Adidas stacked up there just because it looked nice on the shelf.
Right.
But, no, I mean, not one of those costs more than $30. Because I buy my Adidas at Marshalls or Ross.
Yeah, I'm usually in the $50, $60 range.
Yeah.
Not to brag, but...
yeah, I mean...
What's your guilty purchases? I mean, you got a lot of shit going on.
Gadgets.
Yeah,
you know?
that makes sense.
Gadgets I don't need. Little...
Yeah, I spend money on... And I don't spend money on anything anymore. I don't have any money, but when I have extra money, it's usually like, let's go somewhere. Let's go out of town and, like, pretend that we have a different life for 2 days.
Well, that's the millennial mode, right?
Yeah. I'm happy to blow $1,000 on a trip for a weekend before I blow $1,000 on, like, putting new tires on the car or something.
I mean, that's
but you get what I'm saying.
That's
like,
not a fun.
But yeah, like
you wouldn't go buy a 76-inch TV.
No, I mean,
before you would go.
We already
have
on a too many TVs.
Right.
We have, you know, like, my shirt is $6.
Right.
I got these shorts probably at Walmart. Like, and I'm fine with it. There's no. I'm not, like, losing anything.
Right. I buy all my clothes at the thrift store. I don't care about that.
Not one.
But what I do invest in, the things that I like to invest in are weird gadgets and tech.
I get that.
And you go experience.
Yeah.
Which
every time, pretty much. Like, let's get a hotel room in a nicer place than we are used to. Right. And spend like we got it for a day. You know what I mean? And then we got that memory. And it's usually Becky and I going to, like, Monterey or something. And
that's good.
Bar hopping and kicking it on the beach and whatever, you know.
It's a good set of memories.
Yeah. Comedy shows. I like doing comedy shows. I'll go to a comedy show and spend $200 in a heartbeat. Like,
I added a bunch of your suggested comedy shows to my list on Netflix.
Nice.
So I'm gonna be watching some more stand up. Get back into the stand up game.
Yeah, you're welcome. Speaking of stand up, I think George and I got it on the horizon that we're gonna be doing an open mic here at some point in the future. So we're gonna work on probably capturing that on film and getting you guys.
Yeah, that'll for sure be here.
Spoiler alert: gonna be terrible.
Oh, it's gonna be bad.
It's gonna be real bad.
But we're probably just gonna do basically this.
Yeah. That's what
for as long as they'll let us go.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
But maybe we'll have a little more prepared. Like, we'll have some... For sure, we'll have, like, some
Well, if we get 3 to 5 minutes on stage, I was thinking I'd probably just go in and talk to them about cotton candy balls. So
we could bring the cotton candy balls and do like a live
those
review.
ones won't be here anymore.
You're going to eat all of those?
Yeah, for like today.
I'm glad you like them so much. That's exciting.
Delicious.
Um,
Do they come in other flavors?
cheese.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay. I didn't see any other, like maybe like fruit you're saying or something like that.
Hers.
Come on.
Shut up.
Maybe it was Big Lots. They probably do come in other flavors. It's just like Ross. I mean, that's the flavor that nobody wanted.
I love Big Lots.
I love Big Lots.
Every time I go in there, I'm like, we need a patio set. We need this island.
I need those little baskets is the last thing I got at Big Lots.
I need to buy some new knives. Cutlery is big for me at Big Lots.
My desk is from Big Lots.
Oh, yeah, it looks Big Lot-esque.
Yeah.
Efficient.
They
can't see it, but it's a nice desk.
It's a little, glass top desk. You can see it in some of my YouTube videos on my YouTube channel. Just search for Lefty O with 3 H's. O.
Self-promotion. How about Dangerously Strange, y'all? Shit.
Everywhere. On all the social medias, you can find it.
Yeah. You can find a lot of stuff.
Soon to be Facebook page. You already probably liked the Facebook page by now, because by the time this episode comes out,
it's been around.
Yeah, the Facebook page is going to be populated. That's what will pop up when you search for us on there.
Yeah, for sure. Also, again, while we're talking about our social media presence, hit us up, man. We want to hear from you guys a bunch, because we're doing a whole lot of talking about ourselves, and we want to talk about our fans. We want to get you guys involved. Hopefully, at some point, we'll be able to set up a phone line or something. We can get some voicemails from y'all or something. That'd be fun.
I can for sure have that going. We'll have the number on the Facebook page.
Yep. Anyways, what other things have been going on with you lately, George, my friend?
I went to the DMV. I don't know if I want to go into that DMV story on here today. It's too fresh.
I went to the DMV a couple months back. I had to renew my license, which was a terrible experience, because I was there for about 3 hours, and 2 hours and 30 minutes of it was outside. The line was wrapped around the building.
Ooh, you went at the wrong time of day.
I went a half an hour before they opened.
Oh, yeah.
Already,
that used to be the trick.
Yeah.
But now the trick is anytime like an hour after that.
Yeah, probably. That makes sense, because I don't think the line replenished.
Right.
So,
yeah, everybody tries to do that.
I also I have to go back at some point, because I didn't do the Real ID thing. Have you done that yet?
No, I skipped it. I didn't have the documents with me when I went in this week.
Everything. They need like a toe. And
they need everything. And I don't even, like when I do the fingerprint one for the regular ID, I like twist my shit while it's scanning. Like, and they want my blood for the new one, just so I can get on a fucking airplane.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think I'll probably just start not flying on airplanes.
Just go get a passport.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to have that Real ID if you have a passport. Pretty sure.
I've never held a passport, I don't think, in my adult life.
Not in my adult life. I haven't. I had to get one to go to Honduras.
I went to the Bahamas once when I don't remember having a passport. I guess I had to have one. Do you have to have one if you're a child?
Is the Bahamas technically America?
I don't know. I don't know. Is it?
Or is it like technically Britain?
I don't know.
I don't know from the Bahamas.
Never looked into it.
I don't know if you need a passport also. And things are different than it used to be. Like, you didn't need to have a passport to go to Mexico until like 10 years ago.
Yeah, that makes sense. They're just like, just bring your ID.
You're white. Come back when you're done.
Yeah, I might struggle.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Got to grow my hair out a little bit. Like, look, it's nappy, I promise. Yeah. I've never been to Mexico. Have you been?
I have never been to Mexico. I've been to Honduras.
I don't feel like now's the time to go.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't go south of the border. Pretty much to any part of Central America right now. It's pretty war-torn. Yeah, by gang shit.
Gang shit.
And cartel.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah, that cartel shit is no joke. I was actually hearing that the main, maybe not the main, but one of the premier entrances to the country is that they just fly over to Canada and cross the border over there with their stuff, because there's much less security coming from Canada into the U.S.
Mexican people fly to Canada to illegally come to America?
Right.
to sell drugs, or not immigrants.
No,
This is
the
drug
cartel.
mule shit. Okay, that makes sense. Because what I was going is, if you can get on a plane and go to Canada, just stay in Canada.
right.
If you're an immigrant, don't come here.
Yeah.
If you had a way
Yeah,
that you were able to go straight from Mexico to Canada, don't go south again. It only gets worse
what's
the
going on in
farther
Canada?
south you go. Nothing
in
bad.
Canada where they can't sell some stuff up there.
I mean, I'm sure they can, but I don't think Canadians want that.
Yeah.
Except for like the hillbilly, like there's like hillbilly meth heads. They're cooking their own meth.
Yeah.
They don't need Mexicans coming and give them meth.
I thought that was kind of moved on from the whole, chemistry teachers are doing that stuff now. Is that
Yeah, that's what
just
I'm.
one guy?
No, that was just the one guy, and that was not in Canada. Did you know they made a shot-for-shot remake of Breaking Bad for the Latin American?
Really?
Yeah, like there's a whole. They made the entire series in Mexico.
That's amazing. That's a great show.
Yeah.
So I mean, if they're gonna do it with a show, I'm all about it. But that's pretty intense. Who played the guy?
Some Mexican guy.
Oh.
Like the whole thing is
Should've been
it's
The Rock.
Mexican Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Like
They're probably just like, yeah. I mean, it's a lot of guys. I know that guy a lot of times.
right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
How many other shot-for-shot remakes can you think of off the top of your head?
The Office in America, they did shot for shot for the first
Great show.
I think only maybe for the first episode, but it might have been for the first few episodes before they stopped doing shot for shot and just started doing the American Office.
I'm really glad that they did that too, because I
can't sit through the British Office. I'm sorry, British.
Yeah, I don't know what form of intolerance I'm cursed with in this regard, but every time I put something on Netflix that looks super good and I hear the smallest inkling of a British accent,
you can't watch British shit at all?
I'm like, oh, that's not true, not at all, but it's got to be ultra compelling from the jump for me to be, otherwise I'm over it immediately. I'm like, we left you guys for a reason, and it's probably how you talk.
Tisk. I'm sorry to our British listeners.
It's being real. I mean, it's the truth.
But I will agree, I can't sit through the British Office.
Yeah.
It's weird because it's shot for shot, and I saw the American one first. Another show that I believe, basically the entire series is shot for shot, at least the whole first season, is the TV show Shameless, which the American one is a remake.
Some Shameless.
Yeah, have you ever tried to watch the British Shameless?
Did you just listen to what I told you?
God, no, I know, but I agree, but it's even more, I don't agree, but I get where you're at. Because I like a lot of British shit. There's a lot of British TV that I'll watch. But when you're watching something that all the lines and everything and all the scenes, it's weird to see that.
Yeah.
When it's not the one that you know and the people that you know, and then also they're talking funny. But not in a different language, just funny.
But it's the same.
But everything's the same. The dialogue is the same. The action is the same. Everything is the same, but American slang instead of British slang is what happened, on the remake, on ours.
Oh.
It's just, they changed the slang. And even that, not that much, because East Coast slang is closer to British slang than here slang. I mean, they still got to change a lot of slang, but
You said slang,
I know.
a lot of times.
This is the slang gang.
Gang, slang.
Hey!
Whatever. I would be inclined to check it out, but still don't think it's worth it.
Sorry. Yeah, that's fair.
I like the Shaun of the Dead guy.
Okay.
I like those movies.
Yeah.
I like
the Coronet trilogy.
Is that what it's
Yeah. Because of the ice cream cones he eats are called coronets.
Why? That's the company?
No, it's just what they call them. And maybe, it's like how you would say...
That's the kind of shit I'm not into. Right there. You're making up words.
What would you call it? A drumstick. You call it a drumstick, right?
For sure.
If you bought it at the corner store, you'd call it a drumstick. Yeah. They're going to call it a coronet.
Yeah,
And yeah, probably it's just a brand name.
See, if I couldn't go to a country and just get me an ice cream cone. We're supposed to speak the same language. You and I are supposed to speak the same language, and you don't understand what I'm saying when I say, give me a delicious frozen drumstick. And they're going to look at me like, do you mean...
They're going to hand you chicken.
I mean a drumstick.
Yeah, they're going to hand you chicken.
We won. You got to use our words. Period. Nope. That's how I feel. That is how I feel.
We didn't... It wasn't that kind of war.
Well, maybe it is now in my brain.
All right. Well, I bet Donald Trump would be with you on it. Let's take over Britain.
Did you just...
Let's invade Britain.
I mean, he's picking fights with everybody. I mean, if it's about the coronet specifically, if it's like that's all we're trying to accomplish, I
You're with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll wear a red hat all day long for that.
Okay.
Actually, let's probably get a list together. Let's be efficient. Let's get a few words taken care of while we're over there. It's a cigarette, you know? It's not a fag.
Yeah. I don't know how much... Well, I guess I watch modern movies, too. I was going to say, a lot of the movies that I have the slang from in my head from British town are...
British town?
Older movies, so I feel like a lot of that stuff is probably even my knowledge of the slang from over there is like way dated.
Yeah. I mean, I have nothing really to.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
I'm still trying to think of British movies that I liked, or British sounding movie. Austin Powers doesn't really count.
He's not British.
He's not British.
He is British.
Is he really?
Yeah, he really is British.
Shout out to that then.
Right? No, wait, no. Maybe he's from Chicago.
Yeah, I don't think he's
right. British. He's not British. He's Wayne.
Yeah.
Okay. He's not British. He does a lot of British ones.
So we're gonna retract.
That's Mike Myers is not British.
What movies would you like to see shot for shot in a different? It doesn't even have to be Britain. It could be any country, any movie.
Okay. I got one more shot for shot that I just pulled out of my butt. Have you seen Vanilla Sky with Tom Cruise?
No, I don't fuck with Tom Cruise.
That's fine. It's not that great of a movie, but it's a shot-for-shot remake from a Mexican movie.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's not true. It's not that I don't fuck with Tom Cruise. He got weird a few years back. And
this was right around the time he got weird.
Yeah. He's a very intense guy. If you ever seen him, like, interview or anything, it's intimidating to, like, look into his eyes.
Yeah.
Even through a camera lens, you're like, okay, yeah, I got you. I'm going to go. I have to avert.
Yeah, he's creepy.
He's creepy, yeah. And that's not even a knock at the Scientology thing, because I don't know too much about that. He just, as a person, is very in your face.
Yeah,
like,
he's a nut. He's a real nutter. I've read things where people are like, he was cool. Like, he was mostly cool. But he was weird. Also, like, he's about as weird as you expect.
Yeah, I don't even know the backstory. I probably shouldn't. But with his ex-wife or whatever, they had some weird stuff going on.
Did him and Katie Holmes break up?
Is it? I assumed. I mean, they had some weird stuff going on with their childbirth and stuff.
Because of Scientology?
Yeah. So, I don't know.
I mean, look at that old man that made that stuff up and, like, tell me that that's a good thing to be subscribing to.
Yeah, wasn't that the one that was, like... Wasn't that created like 70 years ago or something?
Less than that even. And the guy, I mean, look at him.
He was a...
type L. Ron... Pictures of L. Ron Hubbard.
He was a fiction writer, right?
Oh, wait. Yeah, he's a science fiction writer. He made a science fiction religion. He's... Okay.
Quoted saying, like, if you want to make money...
yeah, like way back when. He knew.
That's like the same as Donald Trump being like, if you want to win as a president, run for the Republican Party because they're... whatever.
Right. And, I mean, to be fair, he was a Democrat in the 90s.
Yeah, like outwardly.
Yeah. But, I mean, Aleister Crowley's religion would be more... Like, would make more sense to me as something for people
to buy into.
It's the same thing. He was like a science fiction horror author at the turn of the 20th century. And he had some people following him. He had some... He collected a group of nuts and did some stuff. But, like, I don't know.
I mean,
it's just...
if you dig deep enough on any religion, there's a bunch of weird stuff that comes along with it. Like, if you decide to take their texts literally, like, we don't talk about the Catholic and Christianity stuff because it's mostly been modernized to the point where most people are, like, halfway practicing, not really all the way. But there's a lot of weird stuff in there.
Yeah, but, like...
This has been around forever.
We might have to bring some religios on here, but I feel like...
Religios. Should probably patent that. That's pretty good.
But if you're a religio, if you start talking deep to a lot of people who are real, like you're saying, like, yeah, I go to church.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not out reading the Bible every day.
Yeah.
But...
they're mostly good, but, like, only when it's convenient.
Right. And they go to church. Most importantly, they go to church pretty fairly regularly.
Mm-hmm.
There's some topics that you don't want to talk deep to those people with if you want to stay friends with them, because there's some shit that's in the Bible that a lot of those kind of people take real literally and to be true.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I was sitting actually in a church not that long ago. I wasn't in the service. I was in the front part. They had a cafe attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I could hear their service. They had TVs set up or whatever. It was just really modern. I hadn't ever been in a church like it. It was kind of like being in the...
They're modeling all the small churches into, like, mini mega churches now.
Yeah, that's exactly... They had a stage.
Right.
They had mics on their ears and stuff, and they were talking to people, and it was really mostly a positive message. I was, like, all about it. Like, yeah, this is pretty intense. Like, they were like, yeah, you reach out and you give good energy and you get good energy back and blah, blah, blah. And then, and just for 10% of your monthly earnings, like, you get a ticket to heaven, basically, is what they said. And I was, like, looking around to, like, make eye contact with literally anybody to be like, and they're all like, yeah, 10%, that's low.
That's cheap.
I was like, gosh.
That's cheap, bro.
And then the day before that, I was in a real estate investment meeting, and it was the same rhythm, same mantra, same... So I'm not saying anything. I noticed.
Pointing out a coincidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Talked a lot about some uncomfortable stuff right there. Not uncomfortable. I don't want to offend anybody.
Well, sometimes you got to be dangerously strange.
Well,
we'll be back after this, folks.
we're back.
Welcome back.
Looking at the computer again. God damn it.
Yeah.
Shit, man. We just had ourselves a little break. We're talking about
excuse me,
income opportunities, I guess.
Yeah, but not like on the internet.
No, like
not like weird,
like property and stuff like that. We're having an adult conversation about the possible investment in some real estate. I don't know, man. I don't know enough about it to comment, but this is a direction that my family is kind of exploring, other parts of the country and stuff like that. I think it's important because working a regular job, again, me talking about this, I feel like every episode, is not getting it done. Selling my time is not getting it done. My time isn't worth as much to them as I feel like it's worth.
Ooh, and they really were making you feel that way this week. Yeah. I feel like they really gave you the "your time is what we buy from you" kind of guff this week, like that.
Yeah,
I don't know if you want to go into that on the show, but the story you told me earlier was hit that right exact button.
Yeah, I want to be careful what I say here, I guess, just in case the wrong people are watching this, but I was effectively told that, my time was less valuable than someone else's time, and I should just suck it up and stay as long as I need to get it done, rather than the understood time of me getting off and being able to start my weekend as per.
Having a happy life working at that job.
Right. So I understand that, things aren't always going to go as planned in a business environment, stuff like that, and the duties need to get done. But also, I feel like if I do my part in working as hard as I possibly can all the time, and I'm clear about my needs when I'm saying that my workload is too heavy to fit inside these hours that we have discussed, and I need some assistance and
from the team,
from my team, and the assistance is in fact available.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, kind of rubbed me the wrong way when I ask for help, and that's the answer I get.
The answer is you can work more then.
Yeah.
Like,
so, again, I guess my privilege is showing, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that would be happy to be able to work overtime and stuff, but I've done that over the past decade, and I've kind of spun that wheel as much as I can spin it, and I realize that, like, my time outside of work is just as valuable or more so to me than, you know, the time I'm selling to this place. So
right.
I guess I just felt a little disrespected in the fact that it wasn't obvious to them that I work there to support my life, and my life is not to support their operation.
Right.
Like, we're there for an exchange. And I felt like I met my needs and I met my responsibilities, and it was not reciprocated. And it hasn't been for a long time.
So F jobs. And we're going to get out of that ASAP for you.
Well,
starting with...
I'm happy that I have the opportunity to have a job, but I just...
Hopefully some investment.
Right, yeah. I'm trying to create something for myself outside of needing to be at a place for 9, 10, 12 hours a day. You know, for what? For still not being able to make ends meet all the time. You know, we need to create something else. So if anybody out there can school us a little bit on what you got going on, what's your side hustle? That'd be dope. Hit us up at dangerously.strange@gmail.com. Always curious. George, I feel like you're captain side hustle. I don't think you have a hustle. I think they're all
most of my life has been side hustles. Yeah. I mean, more of my gigs have been side hustles than jobs.
Right.
And I mean, even from high school, like I hated having a job. Like I hated high school as a job. You know what I mean? Like time schedules and stuff like that I can follow a time schedule to a point, but like doing the same shit every day is not something that I can handle. Is what it has come down to, and why I've quit half the jobs that I've quit is like I can't do the same shit every single day.
It often boils down to the people involved. I don't necessarily have anything against the company I work for, but I tend to work for people that don't share the same motivations as me. That's not always true, but it has been true more often than it hasn't been. And you know, I don't like to be treated as if I'm not a free person, you know. I understand that there's an agreement. I also understand that I could leave and get a better job or a different job or whatever. But, you know, when you become invested for a length of time at a place, I feel like it should warrant a certain level of respect. And I'm not asking for anything that I don't think I've earned, and just being talked to like a human being and being considered, you know, a valuable asset and not some kind of grunt.
And the amount of overtime that you have put in at that company over the last 10 years has earned you to be where you're at now, which you should have some more respect in that way.
Right. You know, and I get it. Job's got to get done. But also, you know, I'm a person. I don't need to be talked to in a way that doesn't reflect that.
Right.
That's all. You know what I mean? Happy to do the job. Also, talk to me like a adult man.
Right. Human.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's get off of that.
Yeah,
shit. Fuck the job.
Just getting all shaky voiced talking about it.
Yeah. You got a side hustle? Hit me up. Tell me what your side hustle is. I got side hustles for days. We're going to maybe do that on a different segment.
Yeah, we can do that.
Because that's a whole episode. I could just list off my jobs.
On a side note about my work and stuff, I've been looking into a lot about human psychology, and I'm becoming like on a bro science level more excited about applying some of these principles that I'm learning. We'll see if it makes a difference, but I think that's an underutilized skill to learn about human behavior.
Yeah, why people act other than you act the way that they act.
Right, and how you might be projecting yourself to other people. It's super interesting when you start looking into like body language and and just reflection, like how mirror neurons make people respond to your attitude and yada yada yada. It's worth looking into. I would check it out if I were you. You might be able to get your boss to do something a little different.
Chicken dance or something.
Maybe.
That's hypnosis.
Yeah.
Well,
but I mean, there's other applications too, man. You can make your relationships better or worse, or challenge yourself to be more honest in certain moments where you might be sitting on something you want to say for far too long. You know, all these different things come into play when you start exploring that part of your brain. Changes your life a little bit, I feel like. Which, if I start making actual moves, I'll keep you guys posted for sure.
Yeah. We'll do a mini series of Ben's upgrades.
Yeah, it's gonna be intense. I might also be unemployed in the next episode, so if that's the case, get ready for a whole lot more content. Dangerously strange content.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter under some other name, but if you just search for the name of this, it'll come up and you'll see the logo.
It's Danger Strange.
Yeah, the regular one was too long. So It can only be 15 characters, I think, for Twitter.
Dangerously Strange on Instagram, Dangerously Strange on Facebook, dangerouslystrange@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Hit us up.
And search for Dangerously Strange on anywhere you find podcasts, including YouTube, to watch our beautiful faces and chubby toed bodies interacting with the camera.
I think I looked fatter when I sucked in. Gosh.
That was just a weird t-shirt situation.
Yeah, whatever. All crunched up on this little
I don't know
couch
why.
unit here.
I think that's like the second or third time in this episode we've done plugs for people to go to our stuff, but like they're already at our stuff if they're watching this or listening to it.
Share it then.
Yeah, send it on all those things. Go to those pages and send it to your friends.
Repost. Do all the
especially
things.
by the time they're hearing this time us talking about that, hopefully we'll have some
Traction.
more shareable content out.
Oh, we will for sure.
Yeah, because like this stuff is
dope ass artists.
like this right here is not super shareable content because it's so big. It's not a bite-sized chunk.
Well,
right?
I disagree, man. Share it anyways.
I mean, share it for sure, but it just doesn't.
Okay, I get what you're saying. We can get off.
It's not going to grab people.
Blah 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 blah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well,
share it.
yeah.
Share
What
alike.
would you say, looking back, George, has been your most fulfilling side hustle? Not necessarily your most lucrative, but what did you have the most fun doing?
I had a lot of fun doing the flyer gig. I think I might have talked about that on episode 2 when we talked about Fiverr.
Yeah, we did talk about Fiverr a bunch.
Yeah, we did kind of a side hustle thing, but it was, I don't know. Anyway, I really like doing the flyers.
What about that specifically?
It was fun. I felt like I was helping people because it's like small. It was, it's small businesses and like entrepreneurs and stuff trying to promote little this and that.
Yeah.
And like a lot of
piece
times,
that, yeah.
like a lot of times they'd be coming at me with a flyer that was like crappy or whatever, and I always was going for, that 5-star review. So if somebody came at me with like a really bad design, I would like go
kick it back and be like, I have suggestions.
Yeah, like, hey, do you want me to edit this, that, or the other thing? Do you want me to,
sure.
whatever? So
kind of make it a collaboration,
yeah,
whether
like,
they wanted it or not.
Yeah, like I would help them out with design stuff for no extra money, just because a lot of the stuff that needs to get done is just so, takes me like 3 minutes to at least do the same thing that they just made on their like Microsoft Word that they designed their thing. You know what I mean? Like I can do something at least a little snappier for them in 5 minutes.
I feel it.
Yeah,
I can kind of comment on that a little bit, at least in my small little sphere of life that I live in. My job, the best times I ever had is when I was running teams, small teams, because those were always about the people. Like you get a project and the project is almost irrelevant because the stakes are whatever they are. You're making a product, you're trying to, tend to an area, you're trying to do something, but it was about motivating people. And I always got a kick out of that because it was always a little bit of a pat on the back to be able to get people who generally started out with a bad attitude to kind of buy into something and buy into me as a person.
Right.
Yeah. So I like that kind of stuff. I haven't done it in an entrepreneurial way ever, but it's valuable. It's valuable to solidify those relationships because those people I still work near and still have like
just pass them in the hallway.
Yeah, still have tight bonds with them a lot of the time, and people can depend on me, which I like.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, in the places that I've done work where I had people working for me,
mm-hmm.
I think I was probably too much of a homie.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's a hard line to walk. I've made all of the mistakes. I've been too much of a homie. I've been too much of a hard ass. I've been overextended in the sense that I maybe make calls I shouldn't have, where my authority may have ended and gotten burned in that sense. I've flirted with legal issues and ignorance of policy and stuff like that. So I've made a lot of errors, but I feel like I've gotten to a point where I at least have a good sense of how to make a person feel like their contributions are important,
right,
and give them a voice and stuff like that. I think that's where it's at.
Valued member of the team.
Right. It's not about you being in charge and making people do stuff. It's about making them want to be part of a project.
Mm-hmm.
I think. I don't know.
I like that.
Yeah. Shoot, man. I feel like this is not funny anymore. We can talk about The Rock a little more.
You want to talk about The Rock?
I don't.
I will tell you, I am way behind on wrestling. I haven't been watching WWE lately.
Yeah, it's been going on about 20 years or so removed.
Okay. I mean, for a while, a couple years ago, when Max was still living in town, well, when I lived with Max, obviously I watched a lot of wrestling. But
I didn't know that about you.
Max, one of my very good friends, lives a couple towns over now, but he loves wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So, wrestling's on. And it's good. Like, it's
definitely a production.
Right. It's really cheesy theater and very often incredible athleticism.
Yeah.
Together on one stage, and they're all angry about it.
Yeah.
And which just adds to the theater is that they're angry at each other, and they're fighting not just for these belts, but also for strong,
it's personal,
emotional,
brother.
Right. You fucked me over by leaving my wrestling buddy crew, and now I'm taking your belt.
The problem I have with wrestling is the problem I have with most things now. Is like, now that we're in this age where there's like not a whole lot of secrets in many industries anymore, you see how fucked up these guys get from doing that, because they're working like, they're working.
They're like carnies.
Yeah, they're working out constantly. Their bodies are always in disrepair. They're in these matches probably 4 days a week or something like that.
4 days a week.
You know what I mean? And like, they're always
5 days a week.
And it's year round. There's no off season in that sport.
No off season.
And like steroids, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of these guys are not The Rock. They're not getting paid like that. They're not getting like the compensation. So they're kind of rolling the dice on hopefully that their number comes up in the scripting or whatever to be more of a character.
Yeah.
And I see these guys that are like,
well, the people who are fighting that often are getting paid a lot more. Like,
yeah, I suppose.
Like the ones who are fighting. I mean, the names that people know.
Right.
They're getting paid
for sure.
There's
this whole sub.
Yeah, there's
any sport. Really.
There's the little guys that are lesser known, that only show up every few episodes, kind of a thing. But
those guys are still wrestling too. They're just doing it in other.
Yeah. Well, and now there's
circuits and stuff.
The good thing that's coming up recently, and with the advent of the internet and stuff, is that there's a lot more independent wrestling happening. Like independent, smaller franchises are popping up, and it's fun. It's an adventure. Like, and these people who have only been wrestling on this big stage are also, some of them, like, going and moving on to these smaller franchises, which is really cool because they get to reinvent themselves to some degree. Like, a lot of them are fully, especially if they were wrestling in the WWE, they can't take their character with them.
Yeah.
You know? But I don't know. It's fun. It's a fun time for wrestling. Joey Janela's Spring Break. NJPW. Like,
what is that?
New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Oh.
Pro World, maybe.
Okay, for sure.
Japanese wrestling is where it's at right now.
Well, the Japanese always take stuff to the next level.
Yeah. Well, they're...
I feel like they always take it more to the real side of things. Like, that's some real blood. Those are real nails.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
They go ham. Like, that's why a lot of why NJPW is so good is because it's reminiscent of, like, the late 80s of our side of professional wrestling. Like, it's so much more raw. I mean, but also, same thing, like you were saying, like,
they're fucked up.
I can't remember his name, but, like, there's, like, one of the most biggest names in the last few years of, like, internationally well-known wrestler, like, broke his neck or something, like, smashed his head open somehow, and he's, like, somebody just died, like, a year before this guy had this accident, in the exact same way as he had his accident.
Okay.
And then he was, like, fucked up for months and is never going to wrestle again.
Yeah, I feel like that happens a bunch. The heartbreaking stuff is when you see the guys that made it through their entire career and are old now, and
they're still pretty fucked up.
They're fucked up, and for some reason, like steroids.
It's like wrestling. I mean, it's like wrestling
football.
is just like wrestling. Yeah, it's like football.
Yeah, but I don't understand why steroid. I assume it's the steroids makes their skin look like leather. Or is that?
I mean, I think it's just a hard life, man. I think it's just it's like I said, they're like carnies.
They probably party a bunch too.
They're drinking, they're doing who knows what.
Maybe we should look into wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's a fun. If you're willing to destroy your body.
Well, I'm destroying my body now for an hourly rate.
Yeah, you destroy your body less though.
Well,
I don't know.
Now I do, but for the first 10 years, I would argue that I was on the level. No concussions that I know of.
Right, you weren't getting literally physically beaten.
Certainly some wear and tear on the tootsies and joints.
Take some glucosamine, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't want to start wrestling now. It's too late for us.
Yeah, I'm like old man status as far as athletics go.
Right.
Which is heartbreaking. Maybe not though, because LeBron James is like 35 or something.
Yeah, but once again, like,
you
could smoke LeBron James.
No, I can't smoke him, but in a wrestling match, I mean, I feel like I can.
That's true. See, that's true. You've got a leg up on me towards professional wrestling because you were a fairly good athletic wrestler.
Well, we use the fairly good loosely. I wrestled for a couple of years and did okay considering that I only wrestled for a couple of years. But I was not by any definition.
But
like
that's
good.
A really good place to start professional wrestling. Like that's enough. I'm saying, like you have a background in tossing people around.
I guess. I feel like I'd crack some shit though. Now that I'm thinking about it, I was carrying Riley recently and tweaked my back. So maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah, maybe we'll keep you out of the ring.
Yeah.
For the time being.
Be an announcer. That seems like a cool gig.
Sure.
Be that all day long.
Just like your best friend.
Boom! Who's my best friend?
A bald guy.
I have a bald best friend?
Joe Rogan.
Oh.
I don't know why I couldn't think of the name Joe Rogan.
Well, I never met Joe Rogan, but I mean, yeah,
he's your best friend.
He's got a good gig. I mean, we spend a lot of time together. He doesn't know it.
Right. Oh, he knows.
Yeah.
He appreciates you.
I'm sure. Shoot, man. Got these socks on today. You never coming in on my socks.
I know. I did notice those avocado socks you got.
You guys like them?
Yeah. They're very California socks.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of the fruit.
It is a fruit. It's a stone fruit.
Yeah. It's been increasingly hard for us to find good ones in this area now. The last few of them that I bought were all pit.
Really?
Yeah. It's not great. And weirdly enough, the last time I went and visited the family out in the Midwest, they had really good avocados out there. Which didn't make a lot of sense to me, and they were a lot cheaper. So
they were cheaper than here?
They were cheaper than here.
Avocados from Mexico! Right?
Yeah. Got these Peruvian ones not that long ago. They were terrible. They were brown day one. And hard. Didn't make a lot of sense.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I've been getting those little tiny ones.
Yeah, get the bag.
Get like a sack of like, like lemon
those ones
size.
tend to be the best, man. I get like the big, nice, meaty looking ones, and like I get burned 60% of the
get
time.
like a cue ball in the middle of it.
I'm like, man, this is all weight, all pit weight.
So this is high quality content talking about vegetables. I mean fruits.
I think it's high quality content. What do you got to offer?
Actually, speaking of that, Nate brought up to me once again. You guys are going to meet Nate, so don't worry. That when y'all were talking the other day, he asked you if you had seen Game of Fruits, which is a YouTube video that I made with Nate that Nate loves. It's hilarious. It's a hilarious joke that Nate was doing on me.
I briefly remember this exchange. I was at a bar.
You were for sure drunk. You were like drunk texting me like in case I die.
Oh jeez. Like, I worry about myself in those moments.
I had talked to Nate, and then Nate told me that you were there at the bar, and he was trying to get me to come out to the bar, and that's enticing. If Ben's there, at least I'll have somebody to hang out with. Yeah. I don't like going to the bar, but our buddy works there, so he gets me to come out and have a beer.
That's
now and then.
That's what you do at bars.
That's what bars are for. But he hit me up because I had called him earlier in the night and asked me, was I going to come out because you were there? And then I was like, sure, I'm going to, I'll get it together and come out. And like 5 minutes after I talked to him, you texted me like...
Let's not even get into it.
You texted me.
Let's not even get into it.
We won't. But it was a long text message, and it was just like very clear that you had already had a lot of drinks from the subject matter, and I was like, I just responded back, okay, drunkie, for sure. And then I immediately was like, but also, like, I don't want to hurt his feelings or, like, him to think I'm dismissing the sentiment.
I get sensitive.
Yeah, so, like, I followed up with, but also, like, I totally get it, man. But also, you're drunk.
Yeah, I was real. What happened was we just showed up to get dinner, and then they were out of...
They were out of food, so you started drinking?
They were out of our top 3 things. Well, we just were waiting, and then I was, like, into our second round before they came out, and we're like, oh, yeah, we're out of that, too. And I was just like, well, let's have a drink about it. And then before you know it, you're rolling. And Becky wasn't even participating with me. She was just letting me go, which, God bless her.
That's fun.
I had a good time up until that end there. But,
and then
I realized why I don't go to the bar anymore. Let's just say that. It was a lesson well learned. I enjoyed that time of my life, but it has passed.
So I showed up maybe 15 minutes after you guys left.
Oh, nice.
And Nate bought me a beer.
Nice.
And then I stood in the corner, that little cubby corner where the bouncers stand. I stood right there and drank my beer and played Brawl Stars on my phone with Honey, who also played Brawl Stars on his phone with me.
Okay.
While we just...
I think I just met Honey that night, actually.
Honey is terrific.
He's a nice guy.
He's such a nice guy.
I had to like break through the exterior because when I got there,
he had the mask on.
He had the mask on.
Oh my god, bro!
And he was eyeballing us.
And his eyeballs like blare through.
Yeah, they're like a weird color.
Are on fire through you. Like he's got and naturally, but the rest of him is like a skull. Face.
Naturally, when Nate showed up, it all was fine because it was like, oh, you actually do. Because I asked, like, when's Nick in it, like, 8 times.
Right.
And then finally Nate showed up and, like, came straight to me. Right. And, like, made me a priority. And then all of a sudden they were all like, oh, okay, he's not just some asshole.
He's not a crazy person asking about Nate.
Yeah. So he warmed up to me and we talked a bunch about football.
Because that's, like... all night they're dealing with that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
On weekends especially, people are like, where's Nate? Where's Nate? Where's Nate?
Like, my heyday at that bar, like, ended a couple of years ago. So we went in and I didn't recognize any of the staff. So there was no, like, anchor point. There wasn't, like, can you tell this guy I'm not... They were all just like, go sit down.
He'll be here. You'll see him.
Yeah. Like, so it was weird. It was weird. I felt like I deserved to be there more than them. Like I had that attitude
this
about
is your
me.
bar.
Yeah.
Right?
And they were just like, we don't even.
Yeah.
Like, just have your beer or leave.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So, thanks for helping me out, Nate. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Nate's
I won't
a
be
good
back
person to
soon.
vouch for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, Honey's great. I like Honey a lot.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he's a Patriots fan, which I'm sure you don't care about, but
Doesn't bother me at all.
It's gross to me.
But yeah, that mask does wonders for... As soon as he takes the mask off, he even just looks friendly.
Yeah, but the mask had like teeth on it or something.
For real. Yeah, like he has to wear that mask because like nobody's gonna be. He's big, like he's strong and big.
Yeah,
but he's got such a sweet face that you wouldn't be scared of him.
No,
as a bouncer, yeah, you'd want to like pinch his cheek if he tried to tell you something.
Honey, but cute boy.
Yeah, but he puts that mask on. It's a good
cover.
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe SARS because he was coughing a bunch, but no, he's just trying to look mean.
Yeah, look the part.
Yeah, that's fair.
It works.
I've had a bunch of those masks pop up in my life recently. Is that a thing? Like a fashion thing that people are...
I have...
You guys, just so you know, we're talking about like those like surgical type bottom, like mouth covering masks. Except now
mouth and nose.
People get them now and they have designs on them. Like I've seen them with like children. Like there'll be Hello Kitty ones and stuff. But
I don't wear that kind. I think
George has got gear. George has all the shit.
I think Honey wears the same kind that I have.
Brand wise?
No, not brand wise, but like style, where it goes around the whole bottom of your head.
It is just like
a bandana.
It is just like a look thing, right? It's not like a
here we go
protection.
I mean, it keeps like dust out.
It's not like a workout thing or anything weird.
I mean, no, it's not like oxygen deprivation.
Okay,
but
for those who are just listening, George is getting outfitted right now in his what appears to be some kind of sock.
It's like a sleeve that you put around your head down to your neck.
Okay.
But then when you get it down to the bottom, now I've got a cowboy face with a little cowboy scarf kind of look.
Strong mustache
and little goatee thing. You almost can't, like in the video, once I line it up good, it's going to be kind of like, why is he talking but his mouth's not moving, right? Doesn't that look real?
It looks almost the same as your face did before then, except now. No lip movement. Oh!
But yeah, so, yeah, he's got this, but it's like
are you a cowboy?
Skull teeth.
Yeah. Well, it's terrifying.
Yeah, it's scary. And he's got, his eyes are...
Been talking about Honey for a hot second
now. Y'all, we'll bring Honey on here. Honey's cool as shit. He'll come on here.
Yeah, we've got a long list of people that you guys just need to meet to understand all of the references from episodes 1 through 4.
Right. But so, yeah, I bought these because I got a Snapchat advertisement that was like, get 5 for the buy one, get 5.
And you just were like,
and I was
that's a great idea.
And I was like, yeah, okay, I get it.
It's obviously on sale.
Yeah.
Can't pass up this opportunity because I was just telling all my friends and family about how I needed to cover the bottom half of my face with art.
No,
you know how I need to do that. Right?
I mean, my thing was, I went, obviously these are not worth $20 or whatever they have them listed for on the site. Like it's always buy 5 get 1 free, or buy 1 get 5 free.
Very thin material,
But it's nice, like in cold weather, it keeps your face, keeps your face and shit warm.
Unlike your beard.
Yeah, including my beard is like added insulation under this.
Okay.
But I've got one that looks like it's a cat mouth vomiting out a rainbow.
Okay.
That's my favorite one.
Mm-hmm. I can see why that is.
Also, when I have long hair, I can put it on. This whole episode has been like advertisements and product placement.
Yeah, we don't get anything for any of it. So if anybody works for any of these companies, hit us up.
It looks stupid when my hair is short. I look like a girl going to ski in the 80s or something.
I'm having a hard time picturing a scenario where it doesn't look.
Well, if my hair is like long and goes like...
Yep.
You could do like that, like a do-rag type of situation with it. You know what I mean?
Don't approve of any of this.
Okay. Anyway, I got 5 of these for $20.
Score.
No. I mean, I could probably got them from China for like at least.
We're gonna make some dangerously strange face masks.
Yeah,
they can be our faces.
Yeah,
it'll be basically the same with just different skin between the mustaches.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll get my lip pierced to make a difference.
Didn't you have your lip pierced?
I never had anything pierced but my ears.
Oh.
Both my ears are pierced.
Fair.
Yeah. But that was a fun night, even though we missed each other.
Yeah. We
I had a fun night.
Anyway, our intention was to be out of there by like 9. And then, it's going to be there at 10. Oh, Tony's here now. Oh, Ben's real drunk. We got to go.
Right. That's what I think. I was like, are they still here? And somebody was like, I think they're just out sitting in their car, maybe still. But no, you weren't. You were gone. So
yeah. I slept great that night, if anybody was wondering.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Get real good and drunk. My problem is sometimes when I go, if I'm at the wrong stage of drunk and I try and go to sleep, I get the spins. Like as soon as I close my eyes, I start getting the spins.
Well, I got a lot of experience, so.
That's fair. Yeah, I did a couple of summers of heavy drinking and that's it.
Yeah, I've taken a long break and I now understand why. So,
good.
PSA, not the business.
Yeah.
Do something different.
Try something else.
Mac and cheese makes you sleep good too, I found out yesterday.
That also makes sense.
Speaking of mac and cheese, man, I have fucked off this whole week as far as doing healthy things. I was on a really good roll there and I got to kick that back up because I was feeling great and now I can feel the difference. I feel just bogged down.
Yeah.
Delicious food, not mad at it, but I get it. I get it very hard now how much of a difference that makes.
Well, good. Maybe that'll motivate you.
Well, yeah, I'm bringing it back. I was doing intermittent fasting and drinking a lot of water and stuff, and it was helping a bunch. I dropped like 20 pounds in a heartbeat, and
you felt good.
And I felt great.
That's
and
good.
I didn't feel hungry, and it was awesome. And now I will not step on the scale until maybe next week because I don't need that information.
Right. Shout out to Becky for making awesome macaroni and cheese.
It's great, babe. Love you. I don't know, man.
I don't know too.
Great.
Maybe we call it. You want to call it? You want to take a break? 7:20.
Yeah, we should probably take a break, or we should probably call it.
You want to call it?
Let's call it. We had a great time with you guys today. Anything you want to bring up as we close it down?
I think what we're gonna do this time as a fun exercise is we're gonna cut it like 30 seconds ago and say whenever we said we were gonna cut it, we're gonna cut it, and then we're gonna say.
So all this is going in the trash can?
Potentially this is going in the trash can, or maybe it's not. But what I'm saying is
this is bonus content.
Maybe let's take a break and then gather our thoughts and come back in for like final thoughts 5 minutes. Like a speed round.
Okay, I can do that.
Some kind of not even a speed round, just like say our goodbyes as one segment.
One collective. Gotcha.
The final showdown.
Do it.
And we might edit some of this out, but probably not.
Yeah, we don't. Final thoughts.
Welcome to the wrap up.
All right. What do you got for me?
Well, today you've been mentioning in a few different scenarios the idea about your first world thoughts, right? Being problematic. And to that end, recently, for my mental health, I've tried to stop thinking about my days in terms of whether they're good or bad, because even my absolutely worst, most depressed, didn't get anything done, didn't fucking brush my teeth or put on deodorant, just
today.
Complete lack of self-care, some shit went wrong, whatever it is, like, even on those days that are my worst, like, most bad days, I am still lucky to have a roof over my head and
and it's like
be a white person in the United States of America. Thank goodness.
Yeah, and it's automatic.
Right? Like, and that's free. Like, I just have those things and it's all free.
We have all of our limbs.
Right?
The threat of disease is pretty low.
Right?
We've eaten every time we've wanted to.
Right? So, my new thought technology is to identify what I used to call a good day as a better day.
Okay.
Because I have good days and better days. Because
healthy, I think.
I think that even my absolute worst day is like 100 times, quantifiably 100 times better than more than 25% of people's days.
For sure.
Every day.
I would say that percentage is low, even.
Yeah.
That's
more than 25. I'm saying maybe 50% of the people in the world have a worse day than me every day.
Right.
No doubt. Like,
as status quo, as like
that's how they live. Just they live, and their day is worse, like significantly worse than my day.
Right.
So I'm calling them good days and better days, and I'm thinking about making a little YouTube series of my own called Better Days. That's how the thought technology entered my mind. Was I had a really good day, and I was like, I'm going to make a blog about this day just because it was such a good day, and it popped into my head to call the blog Better Days.
Right. Okay. Well, I think in you talking about thought technology, as you put it, I think that's, I don't want to say positive thinking, but monitoring and managing your thoughts in regards to your situation and having some perspective, right? Is that basically what you're saying?
Yeah, I try and change the vocabulary of my inner dialogue.
Yeah, okay.
Is the way I'd say that.
Yeah.
That's why I would say thought technology.
Yeah, and I get that. And I'm certainly guilty of complaining too much.
Right.
And you're right. My only issue with the things I'm saying in my quote-unquote complaints is that I'm recognizing that we have all these gifts, and I just don't want to waste the time and opportunities that are available.
I mean, ideally, you would have a lot more better days.
For sure.
From my new perspective that I'm trying out.
And I've been rocking a similar attitude. I just get worked up about job stuff, and that's probably unwarranted on a lot of levels.
I think it's warranted, man. The money problem is it's the world we live in.
Being a person in America with all these opportunities, and being in a position where we have access to unlimited information and all that, the disparity in my mind comes from just being frustrated with myself and tending to lean on the more negative side of things. So yeah, operating in a better headspace is always something that we can strive to do, and I certainly am trying. Just want to improve because I see potential to do so.
Absolutely.
Right. So
always.
I think we should all always be thinking about how we can improve our situation, and yeah, we can stand to complain less for sure.
Yeah,
we can do both things.
I guess for me the recognizing that like so many things are good around me.
Yeah, I get it.
Is like I sometimes I can't see the forest for the trees, as they say.
Yeah. Is that what they say?
Just something like that.
I can't see the forest for the trees.
They say for the trees. I guess it's through the trees.
Yeah, I think that's.
I hear a lot of people saying you couldn't see the forest for the trees.
Yeah. I guess, yeah, that's a good place to end it then. We'll just say maybe look at what you have and not so much what you don't have, but also be open to improving in every way that can. That's what we're doing here in life. So thanks for joining us again on the Dangerously Strange podcast. We're going to go ahead and close it down on that happy note. Do what you can to appreciate what you got, strive to get better, and check out our stuff. We're going to keep it coming. Cool?
All that.
All right. That's a wrap, y'all.
Later. Bye.
Dangerously Strange is a production of London Clock Entertainment and Odenbeard Creative. Our theme music was created by Rick Russell, and we'll add more credits as more people get involved with our projects.